failure isn't the end, unless you make it so. Let's rewrite your response. In ancient Rome, the emperor Marcus Aurelius ruled over a vast empire, waging wars, balancing budgets, and trying to keep order in a chaotic world. In his personal life, he was also a husband, a father, and a human being, just like you, trying to be the best version of himself and facing challenges in his relationships. At one point, he even writes in his journal about how he wants to improve his relationship with his wife, Faustina, but then he crosses that out and writes, "She is the impediment." It's a powerful image. This idea of crossing something out because we have a choice in what we focus on and what we allow to impede our progress. The Stoics believed that obstacles weren't things to be avoided or feared, rather opportunities for growth and self-improvement. Today we're going to talk about what to do when you fall. Let's imagine that you set out some ambitious goals for yourself at the beginning of the year, maybe to get in shape, to read more, or to start a business. Maybe you even made a big show of posting your goals online, or telling all your friends. And then life happens. You get distracted by other things. You stumble, you fall, and now you feel like a failure. Well, the Stoics say that there are 3 things that you can do in this situation. The first is to take stock of where you are, Seneca says. No man is truly poor who has not lost his character. Don't focus on the fact that you haven't reached your goal yet. Focus instead on who you've become in the process. Have you become a better person? Have you learned anything? Have you gained any skills along the way? In the middle of your struggle, it can be hard to see the progress that you've made. But that's why it helps to have a journal to write down the things that you're grateful for each day. That way, when you look back at the end of the year, you can see just how far you've come. The second thing you can do, the Stoics say, is to consider whether your goal is actually still worth pursuing. After you've taken stock of who you've become and where you are, ask yourself whether the goal that you're pursuing is still the right one. You may have started out the year wanting to become an influencer, but after a few months of seeing the shallowness and the vapidness of that world, you decide it's not worth pursuing. It's okay to change your mind, Epicurus says. It's not that life is short, it's that we waste a lot of it. Don't waste any more time pursuing a goal that isn't right for you. Instead, pursue something that brings out the best in you. The third thing you can do, the Stoics say, is to ask yourself whether there's anything you can do to get back on track. Maybe you are still committed to your goal, but you've gotten off track. Ask yourself what you can do to get back on track and stay there. Maybe you need to hire a coach or a trainer to help you stay focused and accountable. Maybe you need to remove distractions and temptations from your environment. Maybe you need to remind yourself of the reasons why you're doing what you're doing. Marcus Aurelius says, "The secret of happiness is this: to make the most of what we have, rather than mope or whine about what we lack." So when you find yourself musing about how happy someone else is, or how fulfilled someone else seems to be, remember that they're probably doing the same things you are to get there. They're probably working hard and focusing on the things that matter. They're probably not sitting around waiting for happiness to find them. They're making it happen. So when you fall, take stock. Consider your goal, and ask what you can do to get back on track. But what if you never fall? What if you never stumble or get distracted or lose sight of what's important? Well, that's a good thing. The Stoics would say to keep doing what you redoing and do and stop until you reach your goal. But also recognize that there will be a time to stop. There will be a time to step back and evaluate whether the goal that you re-pursuing is still the right one. Because sometimes in our quest to achieve our goals, we lose sight of what's really important. We lose sight of who we want to become. That's not the kind of success that the Stoics had in mind. If you enjoyed this episode, check out this episode on how to overcome any obstacle according to the Stoics. And if you want to learn more about the philosophy of Stoicism, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for listening.